What's going on, YouTube? So, for those of you who don't know, there was a pretty big Edison format tournament yesterday called Devastators 3. I decided to participate. I brought my Chaos Fairy pile and did pretty well with it. So, I'm just going to be showing off my games from my day one run. So, here, first match, we're up against Mick Eagles fan. I think the first two guys I was playing were both on Hero Beat, if I can remember correctly. So, we open up an okayish hand. I figure I can risk summoning the Dim Elk, even if I miss, because I have the Honest backing up. The opponent spaces my Decree, which unfortunately they are going to be rewarded for because they're going to be able to dust shoot me. Here, I just decided to take the damage and pretend I don't have Honest. We get dust shooted though, so that was kind of pointless. We go for the Sidra, eat the Bottomless. Here, we're going to dust shoot them back. We see their hand is pretty bad. I don't know. I'm not sure. They're on like Sork, which is a little bit weird. So we're just kind of waiting around. We go into this, but then they brain and tribute Sidra, which sucks. We draw back into Kais, though, which is really nice, because now we can drop the Fader. Opponent could have main 2 Diva into Brioed that, I guess, but decided not to, which is, like, kind of fine. Although, the fact that they waited got them their hero Kais, and now their Miracle Fusion is dead, so maybe they shouldn't have. I don't know. They just set Gilman here, because their hand's super dead. So I'm in a pretty good spot now. We hit. Opponent draws Mally for turn. That's a feels bad, man. And at this point, it feels like we pretty much win. All right, and they draw another Diva, and that's just going to be end of game. So we kind of won game 1 to our opponent just bricking, which, to be fair, they were playing like the brick deck. Or at least sort of. I don't know. This isn't like beat, though, is it? I saw, was there an alias? I don't remember. It's actually like Diva Hero, although that deck can brick as well. We hit into Snowman, which is kind of what we wanted here. Our hand isn't very good. We need, like, monsters, and we don't have them. So the opponent's going to start pressuring us, which is an issue. This is probably the worst hand I opened all day, maybe. We go for Warrior Lady attack. They flip Light Imp, we flip Decree. It's whatever. They go Prodigy Caius and get rid of my Decree. But it's okay because we still have MST and Heavy Storm. We kind of opened way too much spell trap removal if you actually think about it. So here I just have to try and stay alive, which is going to work. And actually I had a chance to come back into this game if not for them having brain control in hand, but they do have brain control in hand, so this like Christia play is just gonna freaking backfire on me and we're gonna die. So yeah, unfortunate. We lose game number 2 because our hand was a little bit too slow and because we got brain conned. Brain con is such an annoying card. Brain and mind con are just very, very obnoxious cards for this deck to deal with. They out your recruiters just for so free and they're so generic. Here they could have gone Catastrophe here, but I understand why they didn't, because they've seen me on main deck Sidra, and they don't have a way of dealing with that, so it'd be really bad, but I guess, but they didn't even hit over the monster, though, which I understand why they didn't hit over the monster, because it's probably just going to be a recruiter, but you could just make Catastrophe and hit over and set that. Anyway, I stormed because I thought it might be Light Imp, and I wanted to do my Christia thing, so we go in and it works pretty well. Opponent gonna actually just play into the back row, holding onto their MST, and they eat the Honest, and this is pretty much, yeah, we're just gonna win from here. Yeah, they are on Alias. I didn't see any Gemspark, though. I think it's mostly just a Diva Hero build that's on Alias. Anyway, they're just really dead, as you can see, so, yeah. Game number 3 kind of gonna be a blowout in my favor. Alright, so second round, played against, I believe this person actually topped with a similar or maybe exactly the same Diva Hero list in the latest Peak of the Beak tournament. So going up against a proven good player. Here we're gonna go in. We're just gonna do the Christia thing again, which came up a lot today. Honestly, a lot of people leaving things out there for me to ram recruiters into. Apparently, then I like DC and it like makes me, I don't know, it's weird. There was a lag thing there, and I like got removed from the game for about a minute and didn't really see what happened, but it's all fine. We fixed it, and we've dropped Christia and set RFDD, which gets spaced, but it's like whatever. Opponent goes, searches another alias. Here we just play into Mirror Force because we'll just drop Christia next turn again if they have Mirror. Unfortunately, they have this Solemn for my Christia, and we can't get rid of this Ocean, so they're going to get a +1. Then things get really scary here because they have Mindcon plus Diva to like mess my shit up. So I dropped the Fader. Then they banish it with the Brio, and then I kind of have to just do this. Fortunately, they do... this is weird, actually. Why did they... They could have just bounced this back row and not played a Demir. But, yeah, they're just going to bounce my shit, and I draw dead-ass Gores. So, a couple dead draws screw me up there, and we get aggroed down by the Brionac. Here we have a really good opening hand. Opponent goes summon Stratos, and then I go Dust Shoot. I see their hand sucks, which, yeah, once again, common theme with these hero beat decks. They get some shitty hands. We go for Caius. I decide to grab Orange Light, which is a little bit perplexing. I don't know why I did that, to be completely frank with you. We top deck Card Trooper, which is really nice. Tack, so we're in a good spot. I think they Phoenix Wing here because they redrew the Mali. Did they shuffle their deck? I assume they shuffled off Dust Shoot. I was probably playing pretty close attention because of the tournament. Sometimes people really do just redraw the same shit. Anyway, I know their back row is Gemspark or Miracle Fusion, so I can just go lethal for it with Ancient Sacred Wyvern. If you didn't recognize that synchro, it gains a bunch of attack when you have more life than your opponent, basically. So game number 3. My hand is not very good. I think this game was on stream or something. This was a pretty epic game 3. Yeah, my opening is kind of lacking. So we go for this. I assume there's a Wing Blast here because they searched the Mali. And here they could have bottomlessed and like forced me to decree and then chained Wing Blast, and I'd have been in some shit. So maybe they, I don't know. I was probably not gonna flip the decree until the Wing Blast happened though, because I would have been really screwed up if my decree got Wing Blasted, and I was very wary of this at the time. Anyway, they're gonna go for Minecon, make Goyo, try to attack. I play Bluff Honest, and they Mind Crush Honest, which it doesn't really matter that they miss because they get to pitch the Mali. So I have to use the Crow to get rid of the Mali, or they're gonna make another level 8 Synchro, and I'm gonna be in some shit. Here we flip the Decree. The fact that they got to see my hands means they know I had BrainCon, so they made Thought Ruler, but we have a sick Decree into Black Rose that's going to clean up all of this and put me back into a potential winning situation. I do decide to just Storm here, which maybe I should have waited. I don't know. It was there was like pros and cons that I was weighing, but I just fired the Storm. So here we find Nova Summoner. I decide to just go for it with the Christia. And, you know, if they have BrainCon, we're going to die, probably. That's just how it is. So, yeah. We go summon Christia, and then they draw Judgment, which is useless. And we hit over, we summon in main 2, knowing we can play in the Torrential, because we got Fader, and we're going to draw back into a live Christia next turn. They draw into a dead Few, and they draw into a dead Gemini Spark as well, so we're going to pick up the W in game number 3 there as well. At this point, we're 2-0. We're going into match number 3. Feeling pretty good. This guy says hi to YouTube, so say hi back. He opens pretty good. Playing Black Wings, always seeing Whirlwind in opening hand is pretty good. So I'm going to hit over. Unfortunately, I eat the D Prison, which is just about the worst thing that could have been. He goes Tribute over the Borat for the Sirocco. Here I drop the Tragodia, and I make a pretty big fuck up right at this moment. I attack, and if it's Kalut, my Just Shoot is then dead. So I shouldn't have done that. I should have just tributed for Caius and gone in. Yeah, I would have eaten the Icarus attack, but like whatever. I would have gotten to resolve the Dust Shoot. And yeah, he goes Minecon so he can go for, well, not lethal, but going for a lot. And I drop the Gores. And now, yeah, this Dust Shoot's just never going to be live. So we go Summon Valley. Here he Stormed. I don't know if he should have Stormed there. I guess he hadn't seen any power traps yet, so he wanted to summon the Value, but why did he... I guess you can probably just attack with Colossal, because you killed your own Whirlwind. We go for the Dim Alk here. I'm like, well, I just pass, because if it's a Battle Trap, I'm going to lose the duel. And it was a Battle Trap, so it's a good thing I passed. He should have just attacked with Colossal Fighter. It's like clear I have Honest there. So yeah. We banish another, just once again hoping, and once again, it's a little more acceptable to attack with this time, because at least putting it to the grave sets up your value thing, which is like fine. So you end on a better monster. Here I'm trying to go for lethal. So we play into the Mirror Force. We are going to eat the Mirror Force, but it's kind of fine here, because we get back a banished card. We get back our Christia special it back, add back Honest, summon Honest. So here I should have just bounced the Honest, tried to attack for game. It was a little bit of a fuck up that I didn't do that. I guess I wanted to out the Colossal no matter what. and this sort of ensures that, because even if I can hit with Honest first, and even if it's Deprison, I can kind of see the logic, but sometimes it's better to just go for it, I think. And there I decided to go for it, not playing into Torrential. And we're going to somehow pull out the win in game number 1. Opponent goes opening with Greffer, which like we're totally fine with this. This is awesome for us, so long as we don't get deck dev'd, which we don't. They don't have it. They just have regular trap cards. So here they're going to hit over our Angel. We're going to go Angel into Angel. We're going to just keep filtering through the recruiters until we end up with 4 Fairies. So we now have 4 Fairies. I decided to Caius a back row, which it's a good thing I didn't hit this one. That would have been a feels bad. I'm just like scared of stuff like Oppression or what's the other one? Limb or Solemn Judgment or something like that. I don't know. Icarus attack. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want to play into Icarus, and because I don't want to play into Icarus, I decided to just not summon the Christia and just wait. Which maybe I could have just main 2 summoned Christia, but then I died a Brain Control top deck, and like, yeah, there's a lot of situations where you put yourself in where you might just die to Brain Con top deck. So it goes Dark End out my Fader, but we just slam Christia now. Gets bottomless, but that's totally fine because we can just summon Sky Scourge Endrise. So we summon the Endrise and banish the Dark End Dragon. We summon the Angel, and then he rips another Blizzard off the top. God damn it. Fortunately for us, he made a little mistake. He should have gone Catastor, but he makes Colossal Fighter instead. So this is very slightly better for us. If he'd gone Catastor, he'd have like lost to Gores though, conceivably. So since it's Colossal, I just decided to set the Decree because I don't think Gores is doing much in this situation. Swap the Nova Summoner. He attacks into the Nova Summoner. We get a Dim Alk. And we just set in. I'm hoping he doesn't draw a Piercer, but of course he does. So we're going to take a bunch of damage. And then I'm going to get a Sangan Search. We're in an okay spot here. We try to flip the Decree, but we eat the Judgment. So now we just got to play into whatever this is, which is Deep Prison. Again, it's not the end of the world because we can drop Sky Scourge and Rise again. And then get rid of the Colossal Fighter. And now we have 2 guys behind an Honest. And we just Honest over. And I believe the opponent is just dead when we attack for game. Oh, no, wait, here. That was dumb. Why did I do that? Like, I should have just attacked. Because, like, Ick attack would have been actually pretty annoying here. So, starting a chain was not smart, but we can still just go for it, I guess. And since it wasn't Ick attack, so we were going to get the W there. Slight misplay at the end, though. All right, match number 4. We were up against... this guy's playing Vayu Turbo, I think. I think there were, like, 2 Vayu decks, if I remember. And we're going to eat that turn 1 Dush. Oh, no, he's not using it yet. All right, he uses it now. And I think maybe should have taken Cyber Valley here. Because it's like our only way of converting out this Brain Control. So here we're just playing chill. Cowering behind recruiters, hoping he doesn't have Caius. And it's working so far. And now we have Christia play. So he should have deprisoned the first one of these, honestly. This was super greedy of him holding the deep prison to the very end, because he let me fill my grave with Fairies, so now it's like Christia's just going to be alive anyway. So here, we can go for lethal using the Cyber Valley stack effect, and then flipping return, which is very funny. So I have to clear space first, but I just like showed him the brain, thinking he would concede, but he didn't. However, he is dead. This is 81 on board, and he can't summon Gores or anything. So we managed to pick up the W there in game 1. So on to game number 2. I open up a decent hand. Opponent goes Raikou. I just set this and hope that he doesn't have a Caius, which I never saw Caius actually. So he goes for the Raikou, and we have the My Body, which is pretty good. Mainly you bring this in against decks that play deck dev. So here he sets everything because he drew the Judgment. We're going to Allure, get rid of the Battle Fader, set. He gets super greedy here and just tries to make Brionac, which I don't think he should have done, because we're going to drop Gores, and that's like a major issue. I think he did. Okay, I hit the worst one with the MST, which sucks, honestly, because 2 of these actually did something and one of them didn't. I hit the one that didn't. So the Mind Con we go for to try to... We could just take the Brionac and then like pitch Angel plus Sangan on the back row, hit over, main 2, summon Orange Lights, mix Stardust, but he has the Judgment. So I decided getting rid of the Brio is the priority. There was an argument for getting rid of what's his face of Ryo, because maybe I would just like get rid of Ryo, set Sangan next turn or something, and then he tries to Brio it, and we just orange light, get rid of the Brio, and then get a Sangan search. But I decided to do it the other way around because I felt like the cost benefit was about equal, but Brio's just a little more damage. Here we set this just to try and intimidate him. It's not working. He just slams Kaiku and attacks, which this is totally fine. We have the recruiters to wall, so we're going to be able to trade with that. Kaiku, we go for Kai's. The opponent heavies tries to attack for game, but we have the Battle Fader, and now the Kai's is going to put us in a pretty good position. We lose to top deck Brain Control, as you may have noted, but yeah, we're just going to pick up the W here. We have the orange light, even if it's a Raikou or a Hamster or whatever. So that's going to be another 2-0 against the bird deck. Whoa, what is this? Ah, there we go. Am I missing a replay? We'll have to go find it after this one's over. So I open up here. I'm just like to set Decree Pass. I hit into the Hamster. I decided to drop the Trag just to hit over that Hamster. Here, he maybe should have... He gets greedy and decides to out both my monsters with the Raikou and the... Which I guess he did this because he has the heavy. But getting rid of the Decree would have been pretty good because then he would have been able to Dust Shoot, and the Dust Shoot just kind of like fizzles here. But we're still not in a great spot. He goes Dark End, attacks. We do decide to Fader here. I guess I want my Dim Alk live. We played into that Pro Set heavy like an idiot, though. So he's going to out our board with the Dark End Dragon. We have the Torrential, maybe, but he doesn't flip the guy. So here we just go for Christia, which we can do. We only need one more Fairy. So we can go, like, Warrior Lady, get rid of that, because we have to get rid of it, obviously, or he'll just out our Christia. And then we drop Christia. So we're sitting behind Christia Torrential, feeling pretty good. Here, I do have to Torrential this. Fortunately, he doesn't have a follow-up that kills us. So we are in the clear. We're just going to attack. He shouldn't have popped my monster there. He'd have won the game if he hadn't popped my monster there, honestly. Or, like, put me in a really bad spot where I have to, like, drop this, but then we still just lose to Brink. Yeah. Because now the Christia that he knows about was live, so I think that was his... Wait. Did I forget to send this to top? Holy shit. That's so dumb. Oh my god, if I had sent it to top, I could have just dropped Christia next turn. And, like, Giga won the game. Well, I mean, we're still in a good spot, but, like, it ends up being a lot harder than if I just remembered to turn Christia to the top. So I dropped this just in case. Because he can banish Mally, and if he draws a monster, he can attack for game. Him drawing a level 2 tuner would suck. He drew Torrential, which, yeah, that's super scary. He just goes for it here as well. Which, I'm pretty sure... Wait, do you have a Mally in deck? He could have just Mallied Torrentialed and then... Oh, no, he didn't have a Mally in deck. Okay, never mind. I take that back. I was actually playing a lot around the fact that I thought he still had Mally in deck, but he didn't. So here we have Trooper, and then flip it with Book of Moon, summon Kai's attack for game. So we pull it out in game number 1. Probably should have been over faster because I forgot to bounce my Christia. That's pretty fucked, actually. Got to maintain a proper game state. Here, okay, I should have heralded here, but I got greedy, and we end up getting Dust Shoot deck dev'd, so that's just the end of the game. If I had heralded, we might have had a shot, honestly. We probably would have had a shot if I just heralded there. Like, 100% I should have shotgunned Herald, because it's clear he's only doing this to drop deck dev. And then, yeah. So, honestly, I did get Dust Shoot deck dev, but this game was probably winnable if I were, like, thinking for a moment there. But we're going to go on to game number 3. And then game number 3, we're going to set Angel. Get hit over by the Thunder King. Here, we get greedy and we go for this, and we don't get punished, so that's neat. Unfortunately, we've drawn more, like, pseudo-deadish sort of cards. Here, this actually could have been, like, a major issue if you just summoned Brionac. Well, what's this back row? It's Torrential, so we could have just outed it, I guess. And we draw Brain Control next turn, so maybe not. Yeah, he probably did the right thing playing more conservatively there. Because I have, like, a full hand, and I played tons of hand traps, too. Here, we're going to get over that. Leaving the Sidra, because we can just get rid of it with any of the machines in our hand later. But we eat the Torrential. However, we're still in a good spot. For some reason, I thought I had only 3 Fairies in grave. But Torrential actually put 2 in grave. So I shouldn't use this Brain Con this way, because I didn't have lethal. But we put him on 200, and he doesn't have anything, so he's just dead anyway. And yeah, that's the end of match number 5. So we're 5-0 so far. And let me find that other replay. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, that's not it. That's the same one again. It's this one. My bad, my bad. Sorry, viewers. So this person was playing this weird Machina thing that's like out there. If I had shotgunned this dust shoot, maybe I'd have taken the warrior lady, but I don't know if it mattered too much. We end up just letting it go through and then using this in battle phase, which is fine. We set our Raikou, he sets his Raikou, we Raikou his Raikou, knowing that he might just get another Raikou. I think he goes for the gear frame and we negate it. And he sets bottomless. So we're at a pretty good spot here, just like trading cards. We go for the Minecon that we know is there. Get rid of his Raikou. We pass. He attacks our Raikou. I decided not to book it because there's not really a point. Here I think that this is the best value we can get out of Trigodia, just summoning it here. He decides not to Raikou it. I go for the Storm. So I never ended up using that Book of Moon anyway, huh? We hit over. We're not in a great spot, but we're not in a terrible spot. We're going to hit into a Warrior Lady. This Christia is like a long-ass wave from being live. We got 6 Fairies engraved, so stuff's happening. Okay, and actually just nothing's happening, but then he hits over my set card trooper with a Fortress. We're going to use the MST pretty aggressively, because I think I can pretty much go for... I don't know, this play might have been too greedy, honestly, because he also has the brain control, and it just fucks me. If he didn't also have the brain control, I mean, I would have pretty much won from this position. Christia goes to top, and we get really low on life here. We special the Sidra, and he torrentials, which is totally fine. Here, I should have maybe just set this Honest in main 2. Yeah, I think I should have. Probably. It was pretty greedy to hold on to it. But we drop Enrise, and then we're like one short of having the Christia, which is unfortunate. And we hit in. The opponent draws a really good card at this exact situation, which is their random main deck Fossil Dino. Which when I saw this, I couldn't believe it. Like, what the fuck? You're maining Fossil Dino. So maybe I should have summoned Honest to hit in during the battle phase, I guess. Just to get that thing face up. But I hadn't seen Mirror yet. So, like, that's an issue, right? I don't know. I definitely should have set it in main 2, I guess, maybe. Because then I wouldn't have died to this, but like, there's no way I could have known about that, so... unfortunately, we end up losing that one, but very close game number 1. We go next. My game 2 hand is like... not a lot of going first things in this hand, so... just decide to full pass. Opponent sets the Hamster. They're holding onto their spell traps because they have Gores. I'm holding onto mine because I also have Gores. Here I decide to drop Trag. Just because I want that Raikou out of the damn way. Which it succeeds in doing that. And we bounce back the Honest. Opponent sets another Raikou. I just summon Honest Attack, which is fine by me. They're going to set Raikou. Here they decide to call, but they play super greedy into Torrential and get punished hard. The fact that I pitched that Decree in end phase basically confirms I have Gores, unfortunately. But we do have the Christia set up, and we're pretty much going to win from this position because it was just too much. So I set the Decree. Opponent goes for booking this and then summoning 2 Fortresses, which is about the best play into this board that they could have had. Here I make a mistake and I Goyo take this. I shouldn't have done that. I should have maybe just heralded it, honestly. But I wanted to hold on to my Enrise, and yeah, we could have lethaled there, but unfortunately we cannot. We go for the Gores. I put the token in attack, and he decides to hit into the Gores, and then I Orange Light here, thinking, you know, Caius Tribute, next turn is game 2, and Honest over his game, so we have like multiple ways to win from here. So there was nothing he could do there, unfortunately for him. He did every play about as well as he could have, but I mean, maybe he could have just not attacked into Gores, I guess. Because like, he pretty much knew there was Gores. We Minecon the Hamster, which actually we're not going to get punished for because we have the Valley and the Raikou, so that was really good. Unfortunately, I missed the 50-50 on the Dust Shoot, which, yeah, maybe we would have won if that hadn't happened, but as you can see, we're still in a fine spot. We're like outing the opponent's monster and then passing. I'm just kind of waiting around because we can't draw another freaking monster. I considered Honesting there, but I decided not to. I 100% should have. I should have just Honested and then Orange Lighted there, because I end up Honesting and Orange Lighting here anyway. which is maybe a bit greedy. But I wanted to summon my Christia, and I feel like, I mean, we 90% win just summoning Christie here, but he has Torrential, which is like the worst thing that he could have had. And then he had the Avarice as well, so that went really wrong, unfortunately. And he draws a way to summon Fortress and a Bottomless to stop my Sidra that he knows I have, which is really fucking not good. So, and then he draws like exact lethal off the top too. So, a couple things broke really wrong. I had a good start in that game 3, and it was a very close match, but opponent managed to pull it out and get the W there. So we ended day 1 with a 5-1 record. Still very respectable. I didn't expect to do this well, honestly, with the N-Rise deck. I wasn't even sure whether I wanted to bring it to this event, but I'm glad I did because it performed quite well. Hopefully, I will be able to make top cut game or day 2 with my matches in the last rounds tomorrow. I think the path to top 8 isn't that hard, so long as I don't lose like all my games. So hopefully we can make it. I believe in myself. I believe in the N-Rise deck after the incredible showing it had today. So hope you guys enjoyed me just going over the gameplay from today very quickly. Thought there were some pretty hype matches mixed in there as well. Definitely some fun ones to watch. So be sure to leave a like, be sure to leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel, and I'll probably do another video tomorrow showing how I did in the final matches of the tournament. So be sure to look out for that.